Welcome to the brand new Draymond Green Show YouTube channel. Hit subscribe so you don't miss out on any of our content. What's up, everybody? Welcome back to the Draymond Green Show. The Olympics are about halfway completed for basketball. As you can see, I'm feeling the spirit. This is your 2016 Olympic gold medal, Rio 2016. And man, I just put this thing on for the first time in a long time, and it just made me feel really good. So I feel like I need to go get my other one out of storage and put that one on too, so I can look like the athletes like Simone Biles and stuff. Although she got a lot of gold medals, but you know how they layer them. Feels good. Anyway, USA, Team USA, who we are all watching basketball in the Olympics for, so off to a 3-0 start.
You know the beautiful thing about being a sports fan? There's only like 2 days the whole year without a game. 2. With so much happening and so much action, that makes just about every day game day at DraftKings Sportsbook. It's super easy for first-timers to get started. Try betting on something simple like picking a team to win. Go to the DraftKings Sportsbook app, select your team, and place your first bet. It really couldn't be any easier or any simpler. Baseball, golf, UFC, there's something for every fan of every sport to bet on DraftKings. And I know it's early, but football season will be here before you know it. And the Kansas City Chiefs are currently the favorite to win the Super Bowl on DraftKings at plus 550. And if you're new to DraftKings, you got to check this out. New customers bet $5 and get $150 in bonus bets instantly. Download the DraftKings Sportsbook app now and use code HOOPS. That's HOOPS. That's code HOOPS for new customers to get $150 in bonus bets instantly when you bet just $5. Only on DraftKings. The crown is yours.
Kind of dominating just about everyone that they face up against, which was to be expected. We got Ant-Man leading the team and scoring off the bench with 16.6 a game. KD is slightly behind at 16 a game. Those two guys have been shouldering much of the scoring load, which I think is pretty expected. KD is the all-time leading scorer in Team USA history. And Ant-Man, if you watch him last year on the FIBA stage, I think it was last year. Yeah, it was last year, the World Championships. If you watch him on the FIBA stage, like you could tell he would be a guy in this setting that, like, those guys are not fast enough, not strong enough, don't jump high enough, and quite frankly, just not good enough to stop him. And you've kind of seen that in FIBA play, and now you're seeing it in the Olympics. Ant-Man is special, and he continues to grow. And I think what I love most is the way Bron, Steph, and KD are embracing him to like be that next young guy up and kind of giving him the keys to the team in a sense. Like if you're watching these games, he's running the show. Whenever he's on the floor, it's his show. And I'm sure like Ant-Man is a very confident player. I think that's what we all love about him. He was half joking when he said, no, they're going to have to learn how to fit around me. But I said half joking because he was definitely serious. And he meant it, but he says it and does it and go about it in a way where he's confident as hell and very close to cocky. But if you understand anything about greatness, you got to be very close to cocky in order to be great at anything. Because that belief, the belief is actually one of the things that separate you, because most people can't reach that level of belief in themselves. And so having that belief, being a little cocky, is actually what separates him. And obviously you got to have the talent to go with it, and he got more than enough talent. And so it's been interesting to watch Ant-Man kind of run the show, kind of watching Bron play kind of the point forward, like real point forward role. Bron, his whole career, he's really played point guard. But he's been a true point forward in this setting. And I think it's been beautiful to see. I think AD and Bam have been incredible at the big spot. Joel had his best game of the series today versus Puerto Rico. So it's good to see him have a good game. I think the first couple games he had been struggling a bit. Played one. Sat one. But he had also been struggling for most of the exhibition games, especially the ones in America. He was a little better in Abu Dhabi and London, but not your typical Joel and trying to figure it out. As I said, he was better today. Probably his best game of the tournament so far. And with this team being so dominant, with this team pretty much doing exactly what we expected them to do on their way to another gold medal, it's only right that you draw the comparisons to what is believed to be the greatest Team USA ever assembled, which is the Dream Team. And this 2024 team, you got the Dream Team, you got the Redeem Team. This 2024 team are definitely drawing those comparisons to the Dream Team. And quite frankly, I'm taking the 2024 team 7 days a week. I think the 2024 team beats the Dream Team 5 out of 7 games. Gotta give the Dream Team some respect. They got GOATs, we get it. They got Hall of Famers, we get it. 5 out of 7 games, at least, for the 2024 team. I just think the versatility on that team, the star power, the scoring, I don't think the Dream Team can do anything with that. Oh, and by the way, now, if the Dream Team has Shaq on it and not Christian Laettner, maybe a different story, because the versatility that Shaq would bring to that team is just a different thing that you have to deal with it. But we know Shaq was not on the Dream Team, which I think was a big mistake. But nonetheless, it is what it is, and I got the 2024 team winning easy. Pretty simple. The game is different. The game is better now. And against better talent, we see what's happening. There's nothing that no one can do to even come remotely close to beating this team. It's just not happening. Too good, too much star power. Oh, and by the way, Steph Curry has not played well. Steph Curry has not shot the ball well. Devin Booker has been an X factor, but Steph hasn't shot well at all. And we're winning by 25, 30 points. That's interesting. Very interesting. And that's why I don't think the Dream Team could come close. I wouldn't say come close. It's a 10-point loss. Double digits. By 2024 Team USA, you can book it. You heard it here. It's what it is. Winning, no problem. Just like they're about to win the gold medal. No problem. As we know, as great as Team USA is, the talk of Team USA has been what? The playing time, the substitution. With Jayson Tatum and Tyrese Halliburton not playing a single minute in game 1, which was crazy. Like, you just don't not play Jayson Tatum in game 1 of the Olympics. Because pretty much what that is saying is, if I get Jayson Tatum in for 9 to 11 minutes, because no one's looking at the minutes like, oh, this guy played less. Like I said to JT, no, when you win a gold medal, no one cares who scored the points. No one cares who played the minute. Did you win a gold medal or did you not? That's what it boils down to. Did you win a gold medal? Did you not? However, you don't not play Jayson Tatum. That man just won NBA championship, cover of NBA 2K, cover of Sports Illustrated saying cheers. Just signed the biggest contract in NBA history. Oh, and by the way, your reward is sit down and don't play in the first Olympic game. Now, if you watched the exhibition games, JT didn't play well in the exhibition game. I don't care. Like, it actually doesn't matter. And so I was a little taken back by that. Like, there's usually always 2 to 3 guys on the Olympic team that don't play many minutes, just kind of how it shakes out. If you're coming into the game 1 of the Olympics against a Serbia team that can't compete, like Joker's great, and it stops there. Like no one else can compete at the level except Joker. So, like, love Serbia as a country, but they can't compete with Team USA. And we know that. Like, just watch. I mean, we've seen it a couple times now, actually, but I've been through this. So when you're going into that game, my thought process was, if you're not going to play 2 guys, the 2 guys you're probably not going to play is Tyrese and Derek White. Reason being, Drew is great in this. He moves the ball, he attacks the paint, breaks the defense down, then he drives and kicks. He make all the hustle plays. He's defending the best guard. That's what Drew does. So Drew going to play. Obviously Steph playing. Obviously Ant-Man playing. D-Book has been the X factor. So when you start looking at the guards, Steph is Steph. Ant-Man is more special than everybody. Drew has already won a gold medal, so he knows what it takes. He knows what has to be done. Jayson Tatum has won a gold medal. He knows what it takes. He knows what has to be done. And in 2021, when we won the 2020 Olympics, but it was in 2021 for those that forgot, pandemic pushed it back a year, 2020 Olympics. Our team, our offense was built around Jayson Tatum and Kevin Durant. And it was almost kind of set up as though like KD was passing the torch to JT to now take it, because at the time, I don't think Kevin's mind was set on Paris. I don't think really anyone was looking at Paris. You're coming out of a pandemic. No one's really even thinking about it. Like, but I think there was kind of this like foregone conclusion or thought that like, yeah, like he's passing the torch to JT. And then JT come out and not play. I couldn't believe that. But in not playing him, it was wrong. We all know it was wrong. He should play. He didn't, but he should have played. So it was wrong, and we know that. What I don't like about it is, now to me, it feels like a cover in my tracks, like proving a point type thing, to where like, oh, now Joel's out of the lineup. And then today, Drew didn't play. And I'm sure it's part we could rest the ankle a little bit, but it's part we got to not play someone. And quite frankly, I don't like it. Like, come up with a rotation and stick with it. These teams aren't good enough to where we're trying to match their lineup. They got to match our lineup. Like, we're not matching their lineup, by the way, because we got the best players in the world. We're going to match their lineup anyway. With whoever we got on the court, we'll be fine. So the whole, like, match their lineup or, you know, this guy out of the lineup, I disagree with it. We're already a team of individuals that essentially come together for 6 weeks, 7 weeks, and then we go back to our lives. And these teams been together for 5, 10. Spain's case, Rudy's played in 6 Olympics. Rudy Fernandez, 6. I think Batum's maybe in his 4th Olympics. I think Rudy Gobert is in his 3rd Olympics. These guys been playing together forever. So they already have the continuity, familiarity amongst each other, amongst their teams. They already have that. We don't have that. But we're so much better than everybody that it kind of doesn't matter. But once you find the rotations are what they are. Let's not combat the mistake that Jayson Tatum was out with. Oh, no, this guy isn't playing. Now that guy isn't. Like, what we doing? And so I actually totally disagree with that. I think we know if Joel's going to be out of the lineup, then Joel's out of the lineup. But then you start the next game. Like, what are we really doing? I don't get it. Like, it's one of those things to me that feels like, man, we got to keep everybody happy. And in turn, everybody ends up unhappy. That's what it feels like to me. Then KD's coming off the bench, which I'm fine with. KD is KD, and if KD want to start, KD should start. But like K came out and said, and K is in his fourth Olympics. 12, 16, 20. Yeah, K is in his fourth Olympics. So with him being in his fourth Olympics, he's seen it all. He ain't tripping. Like, I've seen it all. I've started. I'm the leading scorer. If I'm coming off the bench, who cares? All right, fine. So he ain't tripping. Cool. So that's one less guy in the star lineup that you don't have to worry about because he is in the star. He's cool with not being in the star lineup. Because if he wasn't cool, he'd be in the star lineup. It's Kevin Durant. So, like, just lock the lineups in. The whole switching this guy out, now this guy ain't gonna play this game, that guy, like, what we doing? So I totally disagree with that. And as I said, just from the outside looking in, it just comes off as like we made a mistake as a coaching staff, as opposed to just the mistake that we made, this is what it is and moving on. You now combat it with, all right, now this guy ain't playing. JT goes from out of the starting lineup, out of the rotation at all, 0 minutes to the start lineup. That don't make him feel good. Because then it's like, oh, this is the story. Now I'm all of a sudden in the starting lineup. I'm Jayson Tatum. Like, it's almost like, oh, I'm giving you this so you don't feel bad. Like, that don't make him feel good. It actually, I'm sure it probably made him feel worse about it. Like, oh, now I'm starting. And so I just disagree with what's going on with the lineup stuff. Like, get the lineups, lock the lineups in, lock the rotations in. We know who's starting, we know who we go, and go with it. But somebody else in the lineup today, Nuke got him. Again, we're good enough to get away with it because we're just more superior than everyone. Team USA basketball, best in the world, bar none, no question. So we get away with it. But just because we get away with it don't make it right. And I think it's wrong. I totally disagree with it, but we 3-0. But guess what? If our rotations were locked in, you know what our record would be? 3-0. Because we're just better. And as I said, so if I'm coming into game one, the two players that naturally aren't playing are D. White and Tyrese Halliburton. It's no knock to either one of those guys, but just look at everything else in front of you. Then as you go through the tournament, if you're like, I think we specifically need to get Derek White in for X. Like, we need to get him into the rotation because he provides X. Then you do that. But to start, probably those two guys that don't play. Olympic rookies. Steph's an Olympic, but Steph's is Steph. Olympic rookies, like, that to me is a given. So with all things considered, my starting lineup for Team USA would be Drew Holiday at the 1, Steph at the 2, KD at the 3, Bron at the 4, and AD at the 5. My closing lineup, that's the one that I'm not hell-bent on who closing, because we are so good, whoever's rolling is rolling. You find a group that rolls and you want to close with that group, no problem. You can't go wrong. It's 12 of the best players in the world. So you really can't get it wrong. So just roll with who's rolling for closing. But our star lineup, like, set the star lineup. And by the way, if KD wanted to start, then Book will be out of the star lineup, and that's fine because it's Kevin Durant. So I don't know. It's a little crazy. Nonetheless, I'm loving watching it. 3-0, baby. Shout out to Team USA. As I said, we're about halfway through the Olympic tournament, which means the medal round is now about to begin and the pool play is over. 8 teams have gone home. 8 teams are moving on. And so USA will start off versus Brazil, first game in the medal round. I think we mopped them by 40, no problem. It's great to see the Brazilians get there. Love the Brazilians. Shout out to Gui Santos, young fella praying for Brazil, representing this country. I love to see it. They stand no chance. They'll lose by 35 to 40 points, and Team USA will move on to the semifinals because, quite frankly, Brazil just don't have enough. A little older, so a couple guys a little older on the team. No more Barbosa. No more Andy V. It's kind of, they got to build the young talent back up. So they stand no chance. We understand that. I think the matchup we're almost excited about to start off the medal rounds is Canada-France, although I quite frankly don't think France is good enough. I think France's guard play isn't good enough for Canada. Canada has Lou Dort, who's a great defender, to guard the best player for France, best wing guards for France. Shai Gilgeous-Alexander is on another level. And Canada's doing what they're doing. Jamal Murray's playing pretty bad right now. I think Jamal Murray's averaging like 5 points during the Olympics, and Canada's doing what they're doing. However, where France could take advantage of Canada, and what's ultimately going to be the reason Canada cannot even compete with Team USA, is Canada don't have the bigs. Dwight Powell and Kelly Olynyk, respect for both of those guys as basketball players, but they're not near good enough to compete with Bam Adebayo, Joel Embiid, and Anthony Davis. So when they play Team USA, if they were to get to Team USA, that right there alone can't compete. Just don't have the big play. And France has the bigs, but where you could take advantage of the size is with physicality, and they're not very physical. And so you got the length, which is great, but I actually think Kelly Olynyk and Dwight Powell could push them around a bit. They should be able to push them around a bit. And so because they're not the most physical team, I think that can help Canada out. And I think because of that, I got Canada moving on to the semifinals and beating France in Paris, which I really wanted to see Team USA beat France in Paris, because it just would be amazing to see Team USA. Like a couple years ago, so I played in these last two Olympics, and like what you end up realizing is like the teams that think they coming. I think a few years back, France had won the world championship or something, and they start acting as if they were kind of better than Team USA, or they beat us in the world championship or something of that nature. And they kind of start acting as if they're on the same level of us, and that's just not a realistic thing when it comes to playing basketball. And so when you're going through these Olympics, in 2021, we lost the first game to France. Devin Booker, Drew Holiday, and Chris Middleton, who all end up being 3 very important pieces on our team, landed the day of the game because, again, we was coming off the COVID year, and then the season started at Christmas. And so the finals went all the way to July. Suns, Bucks. They then flew right after the finals ended, landed on the day of the first game. No practices, nothing, and played. That's not why we lost. We lost because we lost. Don't really matter. We won the gold medal. But when they won that first game, I'll never forget Evan Fournier, like, yeah, they're a good team. I mean, they're great players, but they're not a team. And then to go on and lose to us in gold medal game, we saw some tears, and it was fun to watch. And as we stood up there on that podium getting them gold medals, all of a sudden, those individuals had come together as a team. And so I don't forget these things. So like when you play Olympic basketball for Team USA, like just like in the NBA where you get rivals and you build up animosity towards the team, I feel that. So when I'm watching these games, I'm in it because I feel that. And I know the beefs among certain teams that we got with people. I know them. And France is one of them. And so they'll lose to Canada. And unfortunately, Team USA won't be able to beat them in France. Greece, Germany is another one of our quarterfinal matchups. And I think it's great that Greece made it to the medal rounds. Quite frankly, I don't think they have enough of Germany. Germany has looked, to me, the clear-cut favorite for the number 2 for the silver medal. Second best team in the Olympics. To me, they're clear-cut number 2. And so I think Schroeder's great in Olympic basketball. Franz Wagner has taken the next step, dominating. And I just don't think Greece has enough to compete with that. Giannis is great. But I think Germany wins that one by double digits. Germany's playing incredibly well. And I don't see that change until they play Team USA. And then we got Australia, Serbia. And I think I'm going with Serbia in this one. I think Australia is possibly on the wrong side of the hill. They are getting a bit older. I think this is Patty Mills' 4th or 5th Olympics. And Patty Mills, by the way, Patty Mills is one of the greatest Olympians from a basketball perspective of all times. What he does in FIBA basketball, I wouldn't even say Olympians, just in FIBA. FIBA basketball players, Patty Mills is incredible. And he's still playing well, but I just think they're on the wrong side as far as their older guys are going. And I don't think the younger guys are quite there, like talented enough to then carry those older guys. So I got Australia losing in the quarterfinals to Serbia. I think Joker's going to have a big night. Jock Londale plays great for Australia, but Joker going to give him hell. And I just don't think Australia will have enough to compete with Serbia. So I think your semifinals will look something like USA versus Serbia, Canada versus Germany, and then I think your final is Germany versus Team USA, with USA walking with what would be our 5th straight gold medal. 2008, 12, 16, 20. Our 5th straight gold medal. You can book it. It's happening. You heard it here first, second, and third. It's happening. Shout out to Team USA again. And you know what? Also, shout out to our women's soccer team on the way to the quarterfinals. On the way to the semifinals. Taking down Japan today. Trinity Rodman, incredible. Took matters into her own hands. After just missing a shot with the left foot. No, I'm confident in that. I'm coming right back to it. Goal. Love to see it. So shout out to the ladies. Swimming, Katie Ledecky still doing it. Shout out to her. Sha'Carri Richardson on her first medal, silver medal. Incredible. Sha'Carri, happy to see that. So shout out to her. Goat Biles. The GOAT. Gotta love it. Shout out to Goat Biles. Suni, we see y'all. Shout out to the ladies, women's gymnastic. Beautiful to see. Simone, she just lives up to the hype. And you know what? Shout out to Jonathan Owens, Simone's husband. And I say that in the least disrespectful way because Jay-Z is Beyonce's husband. I'm Hazel's husband. Steph is Aisha's husband. Bron is Savannah's husband. And it's crazy that people try to, that's just Simone's husband. Number one, this man played in the NFL. It's a very hard thing to do. Plays in the NFL. The disrespect that people try to spew around is crazy to me. I don't understand it, actually. Like, look at him. Like, damn right you putting on your wife gold medal. Number one, he can't win a gold medal. Like, they actually don't have football. He can't. American football. He can't win a gold medal. And people try to make it look at him with her. Of course. Like, people are so dumb, man. And it'd be like people that aren't capable of accomplishing nothing will then try to take someone who's accomplished living his dream of playing in the NFL on a 53-man roster, year in and year out, living his dream, contributing, and people are going to try to take it and make it like he's less than because his wife is more famous? What? So, shout out to Jonathan Owens. Love to see him with the gold medal. And I love to tweet, oh, by the way, my wife is the GOAT, or some tweet, something of that nature he said. I love it, brother. Keep supporting your wife the way you do. Y'all keep doing it. That man found the love of his life and support her. And y'all try to talk down on him? I don't understand it. I don't get it. But anyway, shout out to them. Go Bows. Man, she is incredible. I mean, absolutely incredible. Had to win. And she did that. So it's been a treat watching the Olympians. And last but not least, KD and Bron, what they are doing from a statistical standpoint, they win this gold medal. You have to ask yourself the question, are they the greatest Olympians from a basketball perspective in the history of Team USA? And the answer to that question is yes, they are, along with Carmelo Anthony. Melo, I don't know, people tend to forget fast. What Melo did on Team USA, bronze medal in Athens. And I know everybody that's a bronze medal because we Team USA. But every other sport get like parades for bronze medal. Bronze medal, gold, gold, gold. So Melo is 1,000% in that category, along with KD, along with Bron. As soon as they close out, by the way, they don't have to close out the gold medal, and they're still the greatest Olympian basketball players, those three that we've had in our program. But by the way, they're winning the gold medal. And those guys, you can stamp it, book it. There's always these conversations about what can an Olympics do for a player heading into the season. And I'll tell you, man, when you come off the Olympics, like, is it draining? Is it energizing? How do you feel after? And I'm going to tell you this. When you come off the Olympics, for us, I can only speak for Team USA. I can't speak for Serbia or France, because the reality is their teams just aren't as good as ours, so they have to do way more. When we come off the Olympics, what you come off of is you come off in great shape. You've been playing real game basketball through the summer, and now you got 5 weeks to stay in shape and head into training camp. And when I tell you, you come into training camp rolling, like, I'm pretty certain both Olympics I've played, and coming off that year, I was an all-star, because you come in great shape. And when you come in great shape, you hit the ground running, man. And so I love Olympic years, because you just being in that shape when you come into the season, already in game shape, man, you start the season off, you got a head start on guys. And so for us, it isn't draining at all. For us, it's fun, it's energizing, and you come in ready to go. Like I said, I can't speak for all the other teams, but I'm telling you, watch how these guys come into the season. They're going to come into the season guns blazing. And that's what it does for us. And so, actually, I'll take it a step further. The last 2 times I played in the Olympics, we also won a championship the following year. 2022, played in the Olympics in 21-22 season. Yours truly. 2016-17 season. That's KD's first year. Championship. So, I love the Olympics, baby, because, gold medal, 2 gold medals, followed by a championship each time, you can't tell me nothing. And that's what Steph Curry about to do. He about to win a gold medal, follow it up with a championship. And last but not least, in the spirit of gold medals, as you can see underneath this gold medal, rocking President Obama, Kamala Harris, Oakland native, lifelong Warrior fan, has been nominated by the Democratic Party to run in the presidential election this coming November. And there are so many stories coming out, this thing, that thing. You won't get it from here. We're not tearing down here. We uplifting here. And I want to send my love, my support to Kamala and her team, whoever she decides that she wants her VP to be. Good luck to them. But I just send my love and my support. Growing up in America as a young black man, it ain't easy. It is not easy growing up in America as a young black man. And I remember I grew up having seizures, and I used to have these like monthly checkups, or every couple months I would have to go to my neurologist. They would take blood, check my Tegretol levels out. That was the medicine I was on for. I was actually on that medicine until I was 27 years old. And I remember sitting in the office with my dad, and I was looking in the magazine, and I asked my dad, I said, "Do you ever think we'll have a woman president?" And he said, "Not in my lifetime." I boo-hoo crying because in that office, because that was the first time I had processed like, damn, my dad gonna die at some point. Like, when he said that, it crushed me. Like, what? Like, you just made me think about you no longer being here. I was crushed. But I remember that moment like it was yesterday. To not only have a woman in the running, we've seen it once with Hillary, but a black woman? It's crazy. And no, we're not going to do the whole thing. She ain't this. She's not African-American. Stop it. Because you used black against her, and she had to rise above that to become who she became. We're not going to now use black against her when it's convenient to try to tear her down. We don't roll like that. So you damned if you do, you damned if you don't. Not here. Not anymore. So let's go at her black card by those that aren't black. That's an interesting one. How about that? We're going to go at someone and tell them that they're not really black, but I'm not black. That's an interesting one. So won't happen here. Sending all my love and support to our VP, Kamala Harris. Good luck in your race. It's the race of a lifetime. You achieved it. Now go be great. Be great on the campaign trail. Be great in the debates. Be great in your race to history. Your path for a young black girl to see, wow, I can run for president. That's amazing. I got 3 daughters. For them to just have the idea of, wow, I could run for president one day. That's what she's doing. That's incredible. To give that hope to young black, brown girls around the world, that you could possibly run for president one day too, man, that's different. That's different. And they're gonna try to say you're not black. I don't think every young black girl who's watching her think that. I think they see her like, wow, that's me. And how amazing is that? So I love it. Again, sending my well wishes, my love, my support. Kamala Harris, you go, girl. We love you. That's a wrap from this episode of the Draymond Green Show. Peace.